everybody. So we are going live, and all of my members of my Soapy Classes Club, the Inner Sanctum, that I've been on a go live video with them on their private secret page, and I would just love it if you might like to be a member of our club. You get discounts on classes, plus you get a free class every month. And before I go live on YouTube, if humanly possible, I go live there first to give them a heads up, let them know what's going on, and so they can prepare, especially if I'm teaching something like what I'm doing today. I think that chocolate and this Coke is waking me up. Hey! Hey, Pam. Hey, Linda. Oh, it's so good to see you. All right, so remember, Hillary is going live today on the Inner Sanctum page at 6 o'clock. So I got to freaking hurry. That's Central Time, by the way. And the class will probably start a little bit after that. The music starts about 6. But I wanted to teach today how to use the Lotion batch calculator to upsize or downsize a recipe. Because you get these recipes and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all that. I don't want to make 55,000 ounces. I just want to make a test jar, 4 ounces, or vice versa. You've got the recipe for the test jar that was 4 ounces, and now you want to make 20 jars of 4 ounces. How do you do that? Let me show you. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get on the Lotion batch calculator on Wholesale Supply Plus. If I find it just by putting in Lotion batch calculator. But you can also put in Lotion batch calculator wholesale supplies plus in Google. That'll get you there. All right. So I needed a recipe. Okay. So that I could upgrade because I wanted to upgrade one. All right. So here we have a small scale lotion recipe. And what I did is I just got on Google and put lotion recipe. That's it. And this popped right up, and it is a homemade lotion ingredients. And here is the ingredients, and it says that it's a homemade lotion recipe from Wellness Mama, and it's got a wellnessmama.com website address. So you could search around on there and find it, but I think if you just put in lotion recipe, you might get it, because I did, right? So or you might put in lotion recipe Wellness Mama. Okay. So right here we have our recipe, and it is, the first ingredient is a half a cup of almond oil or jojoba oil. So I'm just going to copy that almond oil and jojoba oil, and I'm going to go right here in the ingredients, and I'm going to explain more to you, but let's just get the ingredients in there first. And I'm going to just paste, and then it says a half a cup, which is 4 ounces roughly. So let's say that is 20%. We're just going to do 20% for the moment. Okay, and then we're going to do coconut oil. Whoop. You know what? This is not a homemade lotion recipe. This is a homemade body butter recipe. Well, okay. I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute, where's the water? Okay, so we're doing a body butter recipe. All right, so this is coconut oil. So I'm going to put that one in. And we'll just put 10%. I'll fix it different. I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay, and then beeswax is 1/4 of a cup. It just hit me. I should take my measurements over because it will be so much easier to do it. So I'm going to copy the full thing on the coconut oil so you get the 1/4 of a cup part. And then let's see what we got. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the jojoba. I'm going to go ahead and copy the half a cup so that I have the full ingredient requirement here in the pages. I'm just adding it to the different things. And so then I'm going to do the vitamin E oil 1 teaspoon, and then 2 tablespoons of shea butter or cocoa butter. And on the essential oils, it says totally at your preference. So I'm going to put essential oils, and I'm going to put it at a level that I know is safe right here. And I'm going to put that at 2%. And then we need a preservative, which they failed to put in there. And so I'm going to put a preservative in. At most of them, 1% is adequate. So we're going to put 1% per preservative. So right off the bat, we've got essential oils 2%, preservative 1%. We know that. That's factory, that's standard. And then on the beeswax, it says 1/4 of a cup beeswax. And I'm going to take that off of that, and I'm going to bring that down to the bottom, because I like my beeswax to be it didn't quite do right. I'm going to try one more time pasting it. There we go. Okay, so on the 1/4 of a cup beeswax, it's a body butter, so usually about 8% is adequate. So I'm going to just change that to 8%. And then that gives me a relationship with the other products. Okay, so on the teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, so let's do 1% on the vitamin E, and 2 tablespoons shea butter or, hang on. So I like to organize my ingredients. It wouldn't take that many spaces, so it just says shea butter, but it could be shea butter or cocoa butter. So we're going to put that probably at 10%. And now we've got 20%, 10%, 10%, and we're only at 52%. So we know we've got to do more. So, and now let's go back. Okay, so this was, let's count our ounces. So it was this recipe, so we know it is 1/2 cup. Let me get my other calculator. Sorry, I forgot about this step. I'm so bad. All right, calculator. Okay, so 1/2 cup is normally 4 ounces, so we're gonna 4 plus, and then coconut oil is 1/4 of a cup, so that would be 2 ounces plus, and then the beeswax is 1/4 of a cup, so that would be 2 ounces. It seems like way too much, but in any case. And then our 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons is 1 ounce, so that's 1 ounce plus, and then that's it. Optional on the essential oils. So this is a 9-ounce batch. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to get this into 9 ounces, and with the ounce thing is done, and then we're going to put ATURAL, natural body butter, because it's not a lotion. Okay. And so it's a natural body butter. You could even put on there wellness mama. Okay. All right. So 9 ounces is where we're wanting to get to. So let's crank her up. So let's do 40%, maybe 30%, 30%. And now we need to get more. So let's say, 20%, and let's say 20%, and let's see, we're at 82. So let's say we go ahead and all right, so we'll change that to 40%, and we'll do these at 25%. Okay, and it's at 97. So first I just need to get to 100. So 97, 98, 99, 100. So that's 3 more, so 23%. Now it says 100, and I can hit calculate. We know it's going to be wrong, okay? All right, so right here and now, it says that I've got 3.6 ounces of almond oil or jojoba oil, and I'm supposed to have a half a cup, which is 4 ounces. So I'm really close on that one. All right. So on the 1/4 cup coconut oil, it said I was supposed to have 2 ounces, but I'm over. So we need to pull that one down to 20. And then this one here, I'm supposed to have 1 ounce, and I've got 2 ounces. So I'm going to put this one at 15. All right. And 1 teaspoon, which is 0.09. So I'm not sure what the ounces is in a teaspoon, but 1 tablespoon is a half of that. So I think it's about a third of an ounce. So right now we're way down. So on a teaspoon vitamin E, boy, that's a lot of vitamin E. But in any case, we're going to say that we're going to do 10% now instead and see what happens. Oh, where did my mouse go? There's my mouse. So now I'm at 96%. So I'm going to bring the 40 up to 44. Will that make me have 100? 100%. So let me hit calculate again. And I wish that y'all could see this better, but I'm hoping that you're working at home. So now we have 44% gives us 3.96, almost 4 ounces, which is what we need on the almond butter or jojoba. On the coconut oil, we were supposed to have 1/4 of a cup, which is 2 ounces, and we're at 1.8, so we're so close. So let's just bring up the 44 to 45, and let's bring up the 20 to 22. Whoop, not 222. And then that puts us over by 3. So let's see, we're almost good on the 10%, but right here we're supposed to have 1 ounce, and we've got more than we should have. So let's put that down to from 15 to 12 on the shea butter. Now we're at 100% again right here. So let's hit calculate, and let's see if we've done it. Okay, 4.05. We were supposed to have 4 ounces. 1.98, which is 2, we're supposed to have 2 ounces, so we're almost there on the coconut oil. And then the 2 teaspoons of shea butter should be 1 ounce, and we got 1.08. And then 1 teaspoon of the vitamin E, but we're nearly at an ounce, so that's too much. So I'm going to bring that down to a 7. All right, and then we're supposed to have 1/4 of a cup of beeswax. But 1/4 of a cup of beeswax would be an awful lot of beeswax. That's going to be 2 ounces. And 8%, it says, is only 0.72. I really think that if you end up putting that much beeswax in there, you're going to end up with a really hard product. But I will pop it up to 10% just because they had more in there. So I'm at 99. So let's see. On the preservative, 1%. We're sticking with that. On the essential oils, 2%. So that's standard. So we popped up to 10% on the beeswax. So now we are 1 point away. So I'm going to give it to the cocoa butter and do 23. And that gets us 100, and hit calculate. You just keep doing this till you get it down. All right, and so now we have 4.5 in the almond oil or jojoba oil. We were supposed to have a half a cup, which is 4 ounces, and we've got 4.05. All right, and then we're supposed to have 2 ounces or 1/4 of a cup of coconut oil. So we're right at 2.07, just barely a smidge over. 2 teaspoons shea butter. We're right at 1.08, so we're definitely cracking that, almost perfect. Then 1 tablespoon vitamin E. We're right at 0.6. 0.6 of an ounce, and so that's still just a little high. And then on our beeswax, I'm not going over 10%. We're not trying to make a lotion stick. We're trying to make a body butter. And then the essential oils, we're going to leave here. So we're at 100%. So the only thing that's off a bit is our beeswax. It's just too much. And our vitamin E. It's just too much. But we're right at levels on the other items, except for they put way too much beeswax in this recipe. So much beeswax that I think it would end up being a lotion stick. So what we'll do is we will just not make it exactly the way they did. We're just going to make a minor change. We're allowed to do that. We're women, right? We can make minor changes, right? So here's what we ended up with. We ended up with 45% almond oil or jojoba oil. We ended up with 23% coconut oil. We ended up with 12% shea butter. We ended up with 7% vitamin E, although I think that's just a touch strong. And we ended up with 10% beeswax. And if you test this with a small jar and you find it a little bit too stiff, pull down to 8. And then our essential oils is 2%, and our preservative is 1%. So that comes to 4.05 of the almond oil or jojoba, 2.07 of the coconut oil. So you're like, how am I gonna measure 4.05? Well, what you do is you get over here in the grams, stuff like that. You can work with your scales, or you could just do 4 ounces and just leave that little 0.05 off. It's not a lotion. It's like a body butter. So like, the beeswax, if it's just a touch here or there, it's okay. It's totally cool. All right. So that makes 9 ounces. So it's 4.05 for the almond or jojoba, 2.07 for the coconut oil, 1.08 for the shea butter, and 0.63 for the vitamin E. So that's basically a half an ounce, a little bit more than half an ounce. And 0.90 for the beeswax, basically an ounce. Cheryl, we have a customer. Did I bring the keys up here, and do you have the keys?
I think about a third.
All right, you are pouring, are you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at the last little sludge.
You are? Hello, we'll be with you in just a moment. If you need something, give us a shout, okay?
Okay.
All right. And so then our essential oils are at 2%, 0.18, basically 0.2 ounces. And our preservative is 0.09, so basically 0.1. So it's you just and you could sit and play with that, like with points. You could go like here to get this one, you could do 44.8 or something and try to get it right down to 4 ounces. You can play with it and make it meticulously perfect. But this is what the fun thing about this is, okay? Is now we want to make 100 ounces of it. So I'm going to change that from 9 to 100 ounces. Calculate. And there you go. For 100 ounces, we need 45 ounces of almond oil or jojoba. We need 23 ounces of coconut oil. We need 12 ounces of shea butter. We need 7 ounces of vitamin E. Oh, definitely cut that down. And we need 10 ounces of beeswax and 2 ounces of essential oil and 1 ounce of preservative. Ta-da! So there you go. You have now officially made you have upsized a small recipe. You can do this with soap recipes to some degree as well. But predominantly this is going to be stuff like sugar scrub, bath salts, lotions, body butters, liquid ingredients such as body sprays, things like that. Isn't this cool? All right, so I know this was just short and sweet, but I do want to get off of here so Hillary could take the stage at the Inner Sanctum. And if you are a member of our Soapy Inner Sanctum Soap Groupie Club, we would love for you to join Hillary in just a few moments on the Inner Sanctum page. And I'm so glad you enjoyed that, Linda and Pam and everybody else. And so just pop on over there. And if you would like to become a member and get in on Hillary's classes and our once a month free classes plus discounts on classes, you can go to www.soapykisses.com. All right. Bye, everybody. It's 5:59. Central time, that is. Bye.